If you want a Nord Stage 3, you're not sitting on an obsolete keyboard. You are sitting on one of the best stage keyboards Nord has ever made. The real question is, does the Stage 4 solve a real problem for your playing, your setup, your worship team, your gigs, your sounds and your workflow? Because for some Stage 3 owners, the Stage 4 is a brilliant upgrade, while for others, it may be an expensive way to lose a workflow that already works. In this video, I'm going to give you my honest answer. No retailer talk, no feature list theater, no, the new one is always better. We'll look at the Keybed, the new layer architecture, the effects and the synth section, the missing song mode, the new program conversion feature, and the kind of player who should probably keep the Stage 3. And I'll also touch briefly on two other options. When you might consider the Nord's Electro 7 instead, and when it might make sense to simply keep the Stage 3 and wait. Let's get into it. Let's start with the thing you feel before you hear anything, the Keybed. If you have a Stage 3 88 keys, you already have a proper weighted Nord stage keyboard. If you have the Stage 3 HP76, you have something different. A more portable hammer action board that many players chose because of the weight and convenience. And if you have the Stage 3 Compact, you are in the waterfall organ-friendly world. So the first important point is this. You should not treat Stage 3 to Stage 4 as one single upgrade decision. A Stage 3 88 owner, a Stage 3 HP76 owner and a Stage 3 Compact owner are not all asking the same question. The Stage 4 88 and 73 moved to Nord's premium triple sensor weighted Keybed approach. That is a real improvement if you care about repeated notes, dynamic response, soft piano playing, and the feel of the instruments under your fingers. For piano players, that matters. For worship players who play soft intros, repeated chords, quieter verses, and more expressive piano parts, that matters too. But there is also a practical side. If you are coming from the Stage 3 HP76 because it was light and easy to move, the Stage 4 73 is not simply the new HP76. It is a heavier instrument. That may be worth it if you want the better Keybed, but it's still a trade-off. So my first decision point is this. If your biggest frustration with the Stage 3 is the Keybed, especially on the HP76, and you want a more solid weighted action, the Stage 4 becomes very interesting. If you are happy with your current Stage 3 Keybed, especially on the 88 or Compact, the Keybed alone is probably not enough reason for you to upgrade. Now this is where the Stage 4 starts to separate itself. The biggest upgrade is the architecture. On the Stage 3 you work with panel A and panel B. That gives you a lot of power, 2 pianos, 2 organs, 2 synths, and the external section across 2 panels. But it still lives inside that panel A, panel B way of thinking. The Stage 4 changes that completely. Instead of 2 panel workflow, you now have direct control over 7 sound layers, 2 organ layers, 2 piano layers, and 3 synth layers. And each layer has its own physical fader. This is a huge live performance improvement. And it's much easier to understand and grasp with your brain. Because on stage, the problem is often not whether the keyboard can technically do something. The problem is whether you can control it quickly while playing. If my pad is too loud, I don't want to enter a menu. If my second piano layer is too much, I don't remember what panel I am editing. If the synth layer needs to sit just underneath the piano, I want my hand to go straight to the fader and adjust it. That is where the stage 4 feels much more immediate and accessible and more user-friendly. The effects are another major reason to upgrade. On the stage 3, effects are more tied to the panel structure. On the stage 4, the effects are far more independent across the layers. And if you play worship music, ambiental music, cinematic pads, pop arrangements or complex live setup, this is not a small detail. It means you can have a clean piano, a wide evolving pad, a treated synth layer, organ drive, delay and reverb decisions that are much easier to keep separate. For worship players, this can be the difference between I'm fighting my own sound and this sits in the mix. If your stage 3 frustration is I can build a sound but I'm always compromising on effects, or I want the pad huge but I don't want the piano drowned in reverb, then the stage 4 is a serious upgrade. This is the section of the video where I would say, yes, this is a real generational improvement. Not hyped, real workflow improvement. And that's credit to Nord for how they designed the Nord Stage 4. Now we have to talk about the big negatives. Song mode. If you rely on song mode feature on your stage 3, listen very carefully before you upgrade. On the stage 3, song mode lets you organize songs and song parts directly on the instruments. For gigging players, cover band musicians, worship keyboardists, theater players, anyone with a long set, this can be incredibly useful and relevant. You can have a song with several program parts and organize your live set around that. The stage 4 does not have song mode, so it drops that feature. This is not a small change, this is not a cosmetic change, this is a workflow change, and for some players it is the single biggest reason to skip the upgrade. On the stage 4 you can still organize programs, you can use organize mode, you can put programs in set order, you can duplicate programs, you can use external tools like a tablet-based setlist app and MIDI program changes if that fits your setup. But it's not the same as a native stage 3 song mode. And I want to be very precise here. Layer scenes on the stage 4 are useful, very useful. They allow you to switch which layers are active inside a program. So maybe scene 1 is piano and pads, and maybe scene 2 adds a synth or an organ layer for a chorus or a bridge. So that is very useful. That is brilliant for single song dynamics. But layer scenes do not replace song mode. They do not give you 5 independent program parts inside one song in the same way the stage 3 did. If you are a cover band, player with 40 songs in your night and your entire show is built around the stage 3 song mode, the stage 4 is not automatically an upgrade. It may give you some more sound power, but it may also give you a setlist management problem you didn't have before. If the song mode is central for you, please watch my setlist workaround video on Nord Stage 4, link in the upper corner. My honest advice: if song mode is central to your life work, do not sell your stage 3 until you have tested your stage 4 workflow properly. Do not assume you will figure it out later. You need to know exactly how you will organize a full set before you turn up to a rehearsal or a gig. So let's now talk about the sound engine. First, the piano section. This is important because a lot of players assume the stage 4 must sound dramatically better than the stage 3 simply because it is newer. But the piano sound question is more nuanced than that. Both stage 3 and stage 4 have 2 GB of memory for Nord piano library sounds, so the memory hasn't been increased for Nord piano library. That means the basic piano library world is not a completely different universe. If you love white grand, royal grand, Italian grand, silver grand, or your favorite electric pianos, the stage 3 is already a very strong instrument. You're not going to get more memory or storage memory with the Nord Stage 4. The Stage 4 does add useful improvements around piano control, including dynamic compression and unison. Dynamic compression can help quieter playing sit more consistently in a band mix without just making everything harsh. That could be useful in some use cases, but I would not tell a stage 3 owner to upgrade purely because they expect the raw acoustic piano sample to suddenly become a different instrument. If you are a pianist first, and you mostly use one piano sound, maybe with a light pad, and then the stage 3 is still excellent. Mind you, you have only 2 sensors for the keybed instead of triple sensors. Now, if your absolute priority is piano touch and piano playing above everything else, you should also look at the Nord Piano 5, Nord Piano 6 or Nord Grand 2, not only the stage 4. Because the stage series is about being a full performance keyboard, piano, organ, synth, layers, effects and live control. It is not only a piano. The organ section is also not the reason most stage 3 owners need to upgrade. The stage 4 gives you physical drawbars across the models and some very useful improvements, including B3 bass. But if you are mainly an organ player and you already have a stage 3 compact with physical drawbars and you like your workflow, don't assume the stage 4 is automatically necessary. Now, the synth section is different. This is one of the strongest upgrade cases. The stage 3 synth section is based on Nord Lead A1 approach. It is immediate, fast and very musical. But the stage 4 moves to a Wave 2 synth engine with 3 synth layers, more sample memory, more flexibility and far stronger layering potential. If you build worship pads, ambient sounds, custom samples, synth brass, cinematic layers, rhythmic arps or modes and pop sounds, this is where the stage 4 can feel like a different class of instrument compared to stage 3. You have more space, you have more control, you have more layering, you have more sound design headroom. So the short version is this. If you are a piano only, the stage 4 may not be a dramatic sound upgrade, although you get the triple sensor in the keybed. If you are a synth heavy, layer heavy, sample heavy or worship pad heavy, the stage 4 is a much stronger case. Now, there is one important point that many older reviews or older forum comments will not cover accurately anymore. Stage 3 program conversion. When the stage 4 launched, one of the biggest concerns was the stage 3 programs did not simply move across. There is some good news on that. With the Nord Sound Manager version 9.10, which introduced automatic conversion of stage 3 programs to stage 4 format, this has changed. And this is the important part. Conversion does not mean every sound and every detail will arrive perfectly to your Nord stage 4. Nord themselves say that many stage 3 programs, configurations and settings can convert in a way that sound almost identical on the stage 4. But Nord also says there are stage 3 synth features that cannot be mapped directly to similar stage 4 settings, especially the oscillator configurations from the stage 3 synth that do not have a direct counterpart on the stage 4. When that happens, the conversion logs tells you that an acceptable conversion was not possible. If you have simple stage 3 programs, piano, organ, basic layers, you may be happy with the conversion. If you have complex synth sounds, custom sample based patches, moves and performance setups, you should expect to audit them. Do not assume you can convert everything on Friday night and play it live on Sunday morning without checking. That is not a wise plan. This is also why I'm keeping the migration topic separate. So follow and like this channel and keep an eye on the next video release, because this video today is about whether you should upgrade. The next video in this series is about what actually happens when you move stage 3 programs to stage 4, what Sound Manager does well and what may need to rebuild manually. This is a different conversation, but I'm mentioning it here because it matters to the upgrade decision. Because if you have 10 years of stage 3 programs, the cost of upgrading is not just the price of the stage 4, it is also the time and risk of rebuilding your live setup again. Now, before I give you the final decision framework, we should mention one other option. PIANORD Electro 7. This is not a stage 4 replacement. This is a different kind of instrument. But for some stage 3 owners, it might be a smarter move. If you're not using the deep stage architecture, if you're not using 2 pianos, 2 organs and 3 synths, if you do not need the full live layering power of the stage 4, and what you mainly want is a lighter, simpler Nord with excellent organ, piano and useful synth section, then the Electro 7 deserves a look. Especially if you are an organ and piano player who wants a very direct instrument. The Electro 7 gives you organ, piano and synth section, dedicated effects for those sections, and a much lighter package in some versions. But it's not the same thing as stage 4. It doesn't have the 88 keys options either. You do not buy the Electro 7 because you want the full stage architecture. You buy it because you want more focused instrument and you are prepared to give up the deeper stage workflow. So my advice is, if the stage 3 already feels too much for what you actually do not automatically move to stage 4. Consider exploring the Nord Electro 7. If the stage 3 feels like it is limiting you because you need more layers, more synth, more effects and more live control, then Electro 7 is probably not the answer for you, and then I would say that is where stage 4 makes sense. What about waiting for a stage 5 release? Well, this is the easiest part of the video to answer honestly. As of today, there is no official Nord stage 5 announcement. So I would not plan a real musical decision around an instrument that does not officially exist. Could Nord release a stage 5 in the future? Absolutely, of course. Every product line eventually moves forward. But if you need a solution now, you have to decide between the instruments that exist now. If your stage 3 is working brilliantly, you can wait, no problem. If your stage 3 is actively limiting your worship set, your gigging workflow or your sound design, waiting for a rumored product may simply delay solving your problem. The question is, what problem do I need solved in the next 6 to 12 months? That is the right way to think about this. So here is my practical verdict. Not as a retailer, not as a spec sheet collector, rather as a player looking at real use cases. If you are a worship keyboardist, ambient player or modern live player who builds big piano and pad sounds, uses complex layer, wants independent effects, wants better live control, wants more synth power and wants the physical faders, then it's a clear yes. The stage 4 is probably the better instrument. For you, the upgrade makes sense. Not because the stage 3 is bad, because the stage 4 solves problems you actually have. Let's look at the different profile. Profile 2. The cover band or working gigging player. If you need quick access to a wide set list, play 40 songs in a night and rely heavily on stage 3 songs mode, be mindful, be careful. The stage 4 may improve your sound building and live layer control, may improve potentially a little bit your piano playing, but it may also make your setlist workflow harder unless you are ready to reorganize your programs or use external setlist tools. Let's look at profile 3, the piano first player. If you mainly use one acoustic piano, maybe one electric piano, maybe one simple pad, and you are already happy with the stage 3, I would not rush the decision. The stage 3 still sounds excellent today. If piano touch is the main issue, check and look at the Nord Piano 5 second hand or Nord Piano 6 new or Nord Grand 2 as well. Do not buy stage 4 just because it is the flagship if you do not need the stage features. Moving on to profile 4, the organ first player. If you want a stage 3 compact and your main world is organ all the way every day, EP and basic live sounds, you may already have the thing you need. The Stage 4 gives you physical drawbars on all models and some workflow improvements, but the upgrade case depends on whether you also need the Stage 4's broader layer and effects architecture. So take that into consideration. Let's look to the last profile 5, the synth and sample programmer. If the Stage 3 synth and sample memory are your bottleneck at the moment, the Stage 4 is a much stronger argument. The Wave 2 based synth engine and 3 synth layer, the larger sample memory and the improved performance controls makes this a serious upgrade. I said that was the last, but there is one more. Profile 6, the external MIDI main stage hybrid rig user. For this type of player, I'll say be careful. The Stage 3 has a very familiar external workflow across the panels. The Stage 4 can still work with external gear, but workflow is different because extern is handled through synth layer. So if your Stage 3 is the center of a complex main stage or mid rig, do some tests. Do not upgrade blindly. Test the exact workflow before selling anything. So should you upgrade from Node Stage 3 to Node Stage 4? Here's the simple version. Upgrade if you need the Stage 4 architecture, which is 7 direct layers, physical faders, independent effects, more synth depth, better weight keybed with triple sensor response, and a more modern live performance control surface. Keep your Stage 3 if you are happy with the sounds, or if you rely on song mode or play simpler setup, or the financial cost does not match the problems or the benefits the Stage 4 solves for you. Consider Electro 7 if you want a lighter, more focused node for organ, piano and simpler synth work, and you do not need the full stage architecture. Consider waiting if your Stage 3 is working perfectly as is and your upgrade desire is mainly gear temptation rather than a real musical need. And that is not a criticism of the Stage 4. I own the Stage 4. I like the Stage 4. For the right player, it is a brilliant instrument, but the Stage 3 is still a serious professional keyboard. Do not let anyone make you feel your Stage 3 is suddenly irrelevant because a newer red keyboard has been released. The real question is, what problem are you actually solving? If the Stage 4 solves it, go ahead and upgrade. If it does not, keep playing, enjoy that Node Stage 3 and improve on your playing. To help you make the decision properly, I'm putting together a free Stage 3 versus Stage 4 upgrade checklist. Use it to audit your real setup before you buy anything. Do you use song mode? How many complex Stage 3 programs do you depend on? Do you actually need more synth layers? Are you mainly piano first? Would Electro 7, Piano 6 or Grand to make more sense for you? What will the real net upgrade cost be after selling your Node Stage 3 and replacing any accessories that you used on Node Stage 3? The link is in the description of the video, so make sure you download that. And in the next video, I'm going deeper into the migration side. We'll look specifically at Stage 3 to Stage 4 program conversion in the Node Sound Manager, best practices, what converts well, what may need manual work, what you should back up before your Stage 3 leaves the room, all the details you need. So if you are considering the upgrade, do not sell your Stage 3 yet. Watch the next video as well first and tell me in the comments, are you keeping your Node Stage 3? Are you deciding to move to Stage 4? Are you looking at Electro 7 or are you just waiting for the next release? I generally want to know how other Node players are thinking about this. Keep playing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll play you out with the same song I've done in the beginning, but this time on the Node Piano 5, because I keep getting question if the Node Piano 5 sounds different than Node Stage 4. I've tried my best to find the equal patch that I built on Node Stage 4, try and reproduce that on Node Piano 5. You tell me in the comments which one did you like more. Did you like the Node Stage 4 I played in the beginning in terms of patch and sound, or did you like the Node Stage Piano patch that I played you out with?